Oh yeah, we got a whole still worth buying video. If that sounds good to you, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1900 flipping billion, and I can't do it without your help. I could tell you which hyped up fragrances from last year I won't be rebuying, but I can't be all 1900 billion subscribers. So I appreciate you guys, and I love all of you. So let's jump into them. These are all the hype beasts from last year. Now, I'm not necessarily saying every single one of these came out last year, because I don't know if every single one did come out last year. But I got into fragrances basically at the end of 24, so I was around all of last year for fragrances, and these are the ones that were hyped up to me that I got, and I'll let you know if I'm going to be rebuying them or not. Let's jump into number one, and I don't know if this came out last year, but it has to be one of the most hyped up fragrances of last year. Well, both of them, but let's talk about both of them. Now, the one that came out last year was probably Kawa. The one that's a little older is Kamra. But like I said, all the hype when I came into fragrances was on Kamra. Kawa wasn't out yet, so last year all I heard, every top 10 list was Kamra, 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 it's unbelievable, smells so niche, so expensive, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, yeah, it's great. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I love Kawa. I think I like Kawa a tiny bit more. I like that coffee opening just a tiny bit more. Out of these two hypey hype beasts from last year, do I love them? I do love them. And I would rebuy them. I actually have a backup bottle of original Kamra. I wouldn't have a backup bottle if Kawa had already came out and I already had a bottle, but Kawa didn't exist yet. I smelled Kamra, and I wasn't really deep into fragrances yet, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I'll be wearing this for a year or two, and I bought a backup bottle. And needless to say, then I went down the rabbit hole, and here we are, and now I have a lot more fragrances. But regardless, when it comes to these two hype beasts, I love both of them. I really do. I think they're wonderful. And I know some people get a headache with Kamra. Well, luckily, I'm not one of those people. Alright, this next day while I'm editing the video, I realized I forgot to put Vintage Radio, SOS Fire, and The Kingdom, because I don't have full bottles of them yet. So I just didn't see them on the shelf and I didn't think about them. These had to be three of the most hyped up fragrances from last year, and I actually like all of them. Vintage Radio is probably my favorite out of the three of them. I just love that plum, Palo Santo kind of vibe, but very unisex. You kind of need to smell the scent profile before, or just know you like that kind of vibe. The Kingdom is great too. Lamal elixir, tobacco, honey, mixed with original Lamal kind of vibes. So wonderful. I just got SOS elixir. I'm liking that too. And then SOS Fire. Wonderful. I've been actually waiting for the price to come down on that one so I could just get a full bottle already. But all three of these, I really like all three of these. I clearly haven't gotten full bottles yet, so let that say what it is, I guess, priority-wise, but I do like all three of them, so back to the video. Alright, the next super hypey hype beast of last year. Smells wonderful. It's so overpriced for a bit, but now it's down in the low $20 range. And that low $20 range has to be one of the best deals in fragrances. SOS Ice. Absolutely love it. Smells like a frosty, minty, OG SOS, which all kind of smells like Invictus, Invictus Aqua, but this got that little icy tinge on it. When I first smelled it, I thought it was mint or menthol. It's not listed in the notes, but there's something in there frosting it up a little bit. And it's nice, and I like it. And I think this one was worth the hype, especially now that it's down in the low $20 range. At $50, nah, come on, $50. I better be getting a foot massage for $50 also, but in the $20 range, slamming deal, if not one of the best deals in all of fragrances. Alright, next one up. You couldn't watch a list video last year without seeing this cutie, especially on my channel. I talked about it almost every video. Yeah, because it smells great. I just smelled it again. I think this might be my scent of the day. Fakar, Black, YSL clone. And we're going to get into some that I don't like. But believe that, there's definitely some that were overhyped. This is not one of them. Especially in that low $20 range. You want a super designer versatile banger? Well, here you go. It's wonderful, it's amazing, any season, any situation, office date to gym, signature scent worthy, all in one nice little $20 package right here. The longevity, you'll have to go to the people for that one. Go to the little Fragrantica and see what the people are saying. I get decent longevity out of it, but I also have really dry skin. You might get a lot better than decent, because decent to me is like 2 hours. You might get at least 6. But either way, if I spray this on the back of my hair, I'm getting nice whiffs of it for a couple hours. My cactus skin soaks it up quick, but that's pretty par for the course. But anyways, another one from last year that I think is worth the hype. For sure. Actually, this one just caught my eye. It's gonna be a little controversial. I'm gonna smell it. Yeah, it's fine, but definitely overhyped in my mind. And we're talking about Immortelle. There's something about it that just comes off much more manly than what people let on. When I smell this, I almost smell something from the 90s. I know I've said Acqua di Gio before and people jump all over me. No, it doesn't actually smell like one-to-one Acqua di Gio, but there's a 90s cologne vibe in here. And the second I smell it, I just go, okay, yeah, it's good, but it's for a guy that's a little bit older than me, and I'm not exactly a spring chicken. So it is what it is. It's nice though. I can see why people like it. If you like Aventus, I feel like you'll like this. It feels like the same type of guy for some reason. Yeah, this just smells like somebody I worked for like 20 years ago or something like that. It smells good, but it does not smell youthful. And for how many lists and young guys talk about this one, I feel like there's also a lot of young bucks that get this and they're like, oh, whoa, this kind of smells like my dad. And I agree, because I kind of think it smells like my dad, and I could probably be your dad. So do the math on that one. Anyways, that wasn't supposed to be in the list, but I put it in there anyways. And if we're talking about ones that I won't get, we might as well talk about these two at the same time. We don't have to spend much time on them, because I just talked about them recently in my blind buy fails. So we'll just give it a quick little mention, because they were both super hyped up. Well, Assad was hyped up like more the year before. Assad is like 23, but it was still hyped up last year, which is why I got it. Zanzibar was the real hype beast from last year, and no matter how many times I smell it, yeah, I still don't like it. Like in the air and through the atomizer, it's not bad, but there's something about the way it dries down on my skin. It just goes so coconutty cardboard on me for some reason. I don't know, it's bizarre, but I know some of you like it, but I know some of you are with me too, and I think this is probably the most overhyped one of last year. The one that the most amount of people got, the one that had the most hype, that was overpriced for a little while, that I think when people got it, they smelled it and they went, oh, okay, not exactly what I was expecting. So, yeah, this Zanzibar might be the official most overhyped bust fragrances of 2024. Even though we still got a bunch more on this list, so don't go anywhere. And I'd love to know if you disagree. Tell me why you like Zanzibar. And to come back to Zanzibar for a second, like when I smell this, to me they were trying to go for Invictus Victory Elixir, but failed. Like I also don't like Invictus Victory Elixir, but that's like the best version of this whole little coconutty sunscreen kind of vibe. And I know a lot of you like it. I'm just more Le Beau Le Parfum when we're talking about coconut. I need something a little juicier. This one is, I don't know, a little too cardboardy for me. I forgot to mention this one with the black. We might as well talk about Frag Gold at the same time. It was pretty hyped up. And what's funny is that what it's cloning, the King's little brother right there, 1 Million Parfum, is my least favorite out of all the 1 millions that I've smelled so far. I haven't smelled any of the oud ones or anything. But that one I like the least. And I say it's funny because I know some of you like that one the most because it smells the least 1 million-y. And I think that's why I like it the least, because it smells the least 1 million-y. But this right here, which is cloning it, gets pretty close, and it's pretty good. And I do like it. I didn't say for a second I don't like 1 Million Parfum or Frag Gold. It's just not my favorite. And when we're talking about the Fragars, the gold is the one I definitely see the most comments about saying, I don't really like it. And I can see why. You need to be into a specific coconutty kind of tropical kind of vibe. And it's not really coconut. I mean, it's tricky. It's tropical in a sunscreeny way that is unlike any of the other ones that are tropical. It has its own vibe. I'm just not totally in love with anything that's not like juicy tropical. When it comes to tropical, again, I like Glacier Bold, Le Beau Le Parfum kind of stuff. When it gets too chalky kind of sunscreeny vibe, it starts to become a no for me. This one's on the edge. I like it. I don't absolutely love it. I think it's worth the hype in the sense if you like 1 Million Parfum, then, well, you got a great clone of it for about 20 bucks, or cheaper sometimes. But if you don't like 1 Million Parfum, then you're not gonna like this. And I just saved you $20, and if you haven't hit that like button, just hit it for me right now, why don't you? Thank you very much, I appreciate you. Now this is one that like skews last year into this year. I think it came out last year, but this might be one of the ones that I'm kind of making a mistake on. It should be on the 25 list and not the 24 list, but it's okay. Lattafa Jasur. Oh, it smells so good. Well, it smells like Coral Fantasy. If you've never smelled Coral Fantasy, I suggest you get on your little scooter and you go smell it. And if you like it, well then Jasur's here for about $20 flipping. But wait till it's in the $20 range. This one gets jacked up too for some reason. Some days I see it's like 45 bucks. Like, come on, 45 bucks. The real one's like 80 something dollars. So just simmer down with the 40 something. But in the $20 range, slamming deal. Absolutely love it. I think it's wonderful, signature scent worthy, office day at the gym, super versatile. I just think maybe in like the super high heat, it might be a little bit too much. It's got a little bit of body on there. There is some nice backbone. So on a super hot day, I'm going with something tiny bit fresher possibly, but you could wear this on a hot day. You're just going to be smelling good. And people are probably going to want to know who you are. But yeah, there's another one. Hyped up last year, this year, it's worth the hype. It's great. All right, I just talked about one of them, so we'll talk about two at the same time. Might as well bring his little brother into this. This is one of those ones that had to be one of the most hyped fragrances of last year. And I must be one of the only influencers that actually paid for it with my own money, so I can say whatever the flip I want. Dumont, Nitro Red in specific, but Nitro White also was pretty hyped up. but red was really hyped up. I mean, there's a clone of this. Not that this is necessarily cloning anything to begin with, but I mean, there's a clone of potentially a clone. The Noble Red or whatever fragrance world, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. But anyways, Nitro Red, I really like. I say it every time. I describe it how TLTG describes it. Liquefied Jolly Rancher. Red and the watermelon mixed together. I mean, I still, every time I smell it, I get more of a red Lifesaver vibe, but either way. Both of these were super hyped up last year. I like them both. I maybe like the white a tiny bit more, but to me, they actually smell pretty similar. Like, well, what's funny is that someone just wrote me like, I don't smell the red and the white at all. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like virtually the same. But anyways, I mean, the white is the red with like honor and glory kind of mixed into it. Some vanilla, like some body, that slight little hint of like a pineapple creme brulee kind of vibe, but this to me has just got a tiny bit more going on. This is like pretty linear. It smells like Nitro Red. When you smell it, you're like, yep, and that's the way it stays basically the whole time. This I feel like takes you on a little bit more of a ride. And I like both of them. I think they're still worth buying at the right price. In the $50 range, no go. In the $20 range, go. Because Nitro Red, another one that was like way hyped up in the $50 range for a bit. Like, come on, $50. But anyways, they're both still worth in the $20 range. And Honor and Glory was probably 2023, but that, to me, that one's worth the hype. I love that one. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Well, last second addition to the video, it just caught my eye, and people are still talking about it this year too. Because it's probably one of the best deals in fragrances. $15? Rom Silver? I mean, unbelievable. If you like Ultramel, you gotta like sweet stuff. If you don't like sweet stuff and you buy this, well, then you're just upside down. I don't know what's wrong with you. But anyways, to me, it smells great. It smells like Ultramel. So if you like Ultramel, then you're gonna like this. Or Ultramel. But if you don't like Ultramel, if you've never smelled it, well, then this is risky. Because it's very sweet. So I would go down to the Sephora, I would smell the Ultramel, and if you like it, well, then here you go. Rom Silver exists for $15, and before you know it, you're gonna be listening to hot, cool jazz together with your mom, and you're gonna be in love, wishing that St. Audis was there. I'm just messing around. I know that says status. I love when people are like, you know that says wow, right? I'm like, wow? Are you kidding? Because it clearly says mom. I mean, people think I was born 12 seconds ago, but I guess that's just how convincing my jokes are. I should have been an actor. I had a teacher told me I should have been an actor. You know what I did? I moved to LA and tried to be an actor. No, I'm kidding. Imagine. Although I did audition for 2 things, and I got both of them. So I was on TV. Maybe one day I'll tell you guys where you could find that. But if any of you in the middle of the night are binge watching a very popular show and you hear my voice, well then maybe you found out what I look like. But anyways, Roms, hyped up last year, it's still hyped up this year because it's a cheapy flippin' gem. Oh yeah, this has to be one of the most hyped up fragrances of last year. And it's still pretty hyped up, but I mean the hype died a little bit and there's a little bit more competition now, but Afnan, Tarathi Blue, and I like it, but I'm someone that doesn't mind grapefruit. If you don't like grapefruit, there's a good chance you're not gonna like this. When I smell this, I just smell almost like a sugary grapefruit with some musk in there. And I know some people will say there's some Middle Eastern spices, but yeah, maybe it's like a little bit spicy, but to me I just get straight up grapefruit and musk. And I like it. It's interesting. It's not like anything else I have, so that I appreciate. It's not like it smells like 9 other blue fragrances. It has its own unique vibe. I just don't absolutely do backflips for that vibe. I didn't wear this once all summer, but I do enjoy popping the cap and sniffing it. It does smell good. This is just another one of those ones that feels 10 years older than me, even though I'm not that young. It feels older than I am for some reason. I don't know. There's just some fragrances that come off older to me. And this is one of those ones. Not like 80s older, but just like a tiny bit more mature. And maybe it's a money thing. Maybe I need to be richer to carry this vibe. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the guys that wear the real deal, the Tiger, are richer than me. And they can carry that scent with a little more confidence. I personally, regardless of how rich I am, like to smell like a piece of candy. Most of the time. Sometimes I like to smell manly. And maybe next time I'm in the mood to smell manly, I'll wear this. But anyways, one of the most hyped up fragrances of last year, and is it worth it? If you're a manly man that likes grapefruit, yeah. If not, I don't know. It could be a risky one. Or it's another little cutie that got super hyped up. And I feel like at the beginning of this year, people were talking about it a lot too, but then it slowly faded away this summer. I don't know why, but Mahir Legacy? To me, I get Sprite 7-Up. That is it. I get a Sprite 7-Up vibe on the opening. Doesn't really last very long, but it smells nice. It smells like Sprite and 7-Up. And I like the way it smells. I really like the way it smells. But I know not all of you like it. And I know a bunch of you that are sticklers for performance also really don't enjoy this one because it doesn't last very long. But it does smell really nice. I do do really like the way it smells. I like the way Sprite, 7-Up, citrusy kind of vibe smells. Because even though it's a citrus, it's not a cleaning product citrus. So it has its own vibe that I really do like and appreciate. And if the performance was more beastly, I think a lot more people would really like this one. But it is what it is. And is it worth the hype? In the $30, $40 range? No. The $20 range? I like it a lot. Alright, another one that was super hyped up last year. And this is actually one of the ones that, depending on where you live, might not be worth it anymore. It smells great. It smells good. It smells very nice. But what it's emulating has come down a lot in price. And we're talking about Hayati Black, Latafa. And it's supposed to be inspired by Hawass. I actually get a little bit more Invictus-y vibes. Just OG Invictus smelling it right now for some reason. But Invictus, Invictus Aqua, Hawass, they have a similar through line. And to me, this one does smell Invictus Hawass-y kind of vibe, but for $18 or sometimes less. It doesn't last as long as Hawass. Original Beast Hawass, I heard some of the newer batches aren't as strong, but original Hawass definitely does better than this one. And I will say, now that Hawass is in the $20 range, the low $20 range, in a lot of places, that's a better deal. Just get Hawass. But in some countries, Hawass is still easily $50, $60. And in that situation, if you're interested in the scent profile, well then Hayati's here for you. And only in that situation, if Hawass is really expensive, do I think this is worth it. If not, like I'm saying, just spend an extra couple bucks and get the real Hawass. But if not, Hayati's here, and it's pretty wonderful. And I think it lives up to the hype, considering that when it came out, Hawass is still like $50. Well, we don't have to talk about this one for long, because you guys know I like it, even though a lot of you are not going to like it. One of the most hyped up fragrances of last year. Latafa, Atlas. Yeah, it's beastly. It's everything everybody says. It's a salty mojito, and a lot of you will not like it. A lot of you will smell this and go, oh, no thank you. Okay. Because it's got this funny body on it that it's pretty unique. Once you smell it, you're like, oh, okay, I see what he's talking about. But it definitely has its own vibe on it. It's unlike anything I've ever smelled before. And I know it's cloning Megamade, but I've never smelled that one. I've only smelled this. And I personally like it. And I'm not just saying that because I have the bottle. I had a sample first, and I chose to buy the bottle after wearing the sample. So make of that what you will. So I think it's worth the hype if you can find it in like the high $20 range. Anything over like 35 is like, come on, it's only a 55 ml bottle. So in the $20 range, slamming deal. Definitely think it's worth the hype if you like this type of salty mojito scent profile. If you don't, then you're not gonna like it. Alright, last two, let's just do them at the same time. Both of these little cuties were hyped to the moon last year. I haven't seen too much chit chatter on them this year, but Moscow Mule, Appletini. My personal favorite's the Appletini. I like it a little bit more. Apple brandy on the rocks inspo. And I personally like that smell of brandy with apples and the aging oak barrels. There's something about it that's beautiful, but not everyone is gonna like this scent profile. My wife doesn't like this scent profile. When I wear it, she always goes, oh, that one. And I'm like, yeah, I love it though. This is one of those ones that I don't care if she doesn't like it. I still wear it. But I could definitely see some people buying this thinking they're going to get some like sweet appley fragrance and then smelling this and going, oh, whoa, I mean, I know he told me it was boozy and oak barrel-y, but I didn't think he was being literal. Yeah, it pretty much literally smells like apples covered in brandy that have been sitting in oak barrels of some kind. And it's beautiful and I love it. And the same goes for the Moscow Mule, which is inspired by Blue Moon Ginger Dash. And like I always say, the hint's in the title. You need to like ginger. If you don't like ginger, you're not gonna like this. This comes off a little boozy in a clear alcohol way. I think the Blue Moon Ginger Dash has a note of vodka in there. And yeah, it smells alcohol-y, but not in like a hairspray perfumer's alcohol kind of way, and like literally almost a vodka kind of way. It's kind of crazy, but with ginger and some body on it. People have described this as like a designer Nautica voyage, and yeah, I could see that with some ginger and a splash of vodka. So if you like the sound of that, Moscow Mule's here, and it actually performs pretty decently on my cactus skin considering it's a freshie. Although it's a freshie with a lot of body on it. I mean, wearing this on like a super hot day, like over 100 would almost even be pushing it for how much body it has, but anything under 100, you could definitely wear this. But yeah, both of these super hyped up last year. I got them on the Prime Day deal last year at a really good price, so I was happy. I haven't tried the Blaze one, I know, or Cognac or whatever it is, Cognac Blaze. I should get that one, but I just haven't. But anyways, these are two that might be on the riskier side of blind buying, because I think the two scent profiles are, you know, kind of, I don't necessarily want to say like high end, but I'm not just smelling the blue one and going like, oh yeah, it's a YEDP, yeah, you're safe, super versatile. No, they both have like their own distinct vibe on them that I could see not everyone liking. I personally like both of them, and I think they were worth the pickup, and I think they were worth the hype of last year, but I could see not everyone agreeing. You guys let me know some of the hypees from last year that you got that you think are worth it, and some of the ones that you don't think are worth it. I appreciate you guys, I love you if you made it to the end. Here is your fortune. Prosperity is in your future. Oh, well, I like prosperity. Thank you very much. Hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Blessings all around. I appreciate you. I love you. And bye for now, baby.